I think this is a really important point that I wanted the world to know, that I would like to share with everyone. And that is that at one point, my son was doing some research into the yugas. And he was looking into, well, what makes the yugas different from one another? And one of the points was that at the beginning of Kali Yuga, there was this interaction between this demon, Kali, and Kali had done some tapas in order to receive the boon. And the boon was to consume all of mankind. That's what Kali wanted to do. I'm going to consume all of mankind. And so, of course, Kali, Brahma is like, you did all this tapas, let me give you a boon. And Kali's like, I want to consume all of mankind. I just want to eat them all up. And Brahma's like, you can't really do that. Don't I do a good imitation of the gods? Anyway, so anyway, Brahma was like, okay, you can become really, really, really small, like really small, like a little tiny needle like that. And you can sit in the heart center, the heart energy center of mankind. That's what you can do. That's as far as I let you go. So what happens is that little needle, that little piece is so dark. It's so malevolent. It's so awful that most people never even look that far. Many people can live their whole life from the beginning to the end of their life, and they don't even go there. They don't even know that that thing is there. It's kind of behind the scenes. Maybe it gives rise to some degenerate behavior. They figure, well, everybody has degenerate behavior. It's no problem. It's normal, something like that. But another great man, Alexander Solzhenitsyn, who wrote a book called The Gulag Archipelago because he lived through the Bolshevik Revolution, and he lived in a gulag for like 7 years and came out of that a wiser man. Is famous for saying that the line between good and evil runs through the middle of every man, the heart of every man, and no one is willing to attack their own heart. So in the Gita, I have to bring in another piece of information. Then we put it all together. It's like we're weaving the story here. So in the Gita, in the first chapter, there is a line that says, the darkness rejoices, or the evil rejoices in attacking the good or the light. The evil rejoices in attacking the good. And then the good responds. It's just it's at the beginning where they're blowing their conscience and that sort of thing. And I'm not an expert. There are experts on the Gita out there. I do not claim to be, but I know that there's this one line. And what I realized is that the destructive laws of nature experience a kind of pleasure at taking out or destroying that which is good in the world. And if that pleasure wasn't there, there would be no motivation for the destructive laws of nature to do that. And if there was no motivation for the destructive laws of nature to do that, we would not have a world that is founded upon diversity. We would not have the diversity that we need that is necessary to create the material world. But, so this is Kali. Kali's like fun. It's fun for Kali to destroy mankind. But here's the thing, the worst experiences that people have, like near-death experiences or little children being abused experiences or terrible experiences, they open up that tender little place and they show where that dark spot is. Anytime you see something that's like pure evil, it's pure awfulness, you're seeing Kali. And when the awareness goes onto that little needle, it allows that piece of Kali to return home to wholeness, because our awareness is wholeness, and it heals that little piece of Kali. Kali's so spread out over all of mankind. It's very hard for that demon to
Oh my God, I'm having an activation again. Oh my gosh.
No.
Oh my God, it's like, well, I just had, that just made so much sense in the highest realms and dimensions. And that answered so many questions that I've been asking the angels. Oh my God. Thank you for blessing me with that. That was for me more than my wife. I always ask about that. I'm like, what about that?
Yeah, right. It's like those are some of the big hard questions that like philosophers for centuries have asked, like, why do bad things happen to nice people and stuff like that, right?
Oh my God.
Right. The answer
my heart
is
just opened.
peace.
More than before. Wow.
So when something awful happens, when awareness can transcend, then instead of blaming and saying, oh, I'm hurting because this person is being so rude to me or something, instead it's like, wait, I feel the pain so much. I feel it exactly. And then your attention goes exactly on it. It opens up and it reveals that little hidden, it's like that little hidden thing in there. And when it reveals it, the awareness goes, and the awareness basically shines the light of totality upon that thing. And that piece of one's own self goes back to the creation, back to the source of creation, and it's healed. And so Kali is healing. Okay, so here's another little step forward. I'm living in Phoenix right now. Usually I'm in Fairfield, Iowa, but anyway, I'm having a year as I get to be a grandmother, first time, yay. And in Tucson, which is close to here, is the largest gem and mineral show in the world. Like one of the, maybe the largest. It's huge. It's huge. I'm not even going to go there to begin to tell you how huge. But when I was there, I came to a table that only had one kind of gem on it. It was a smoky quartz. And it was in little tiny needles, just little needles of this really black gem. And I said to the man, you're only selling one kind of gem here. He said, yes. He's from India. He said, yes, this gem comes from a cave deep in the mountain of Ganesh in India. And I had an activation off of those. I didn't buy one, but I looked at them and I said to myself, every saint who managed to bring to wholeness that little Kali, the result was in the cave, the needle grew as a little crystal. It's no longer here. It's no longer here. It's growing there like a little, they look like little grasses or something, but little knives, little tiny knife-like grasses that were growing up in these little crystals. And it was so interesting to see them. And you can find pictures of them online. I'll send you a picture. Yeah, but it was it was a very interesting moment to sit there and then I realized, well, I probably don't need to buy any of those.
I would explain to the audience that is not familiar with the Vedic tradition. So again, the yugas, they're like the ages. There's the golden age and and so forth. And right now would be the Kali Yuga, which would be the dark age. Translated in English, I guess, would be the dark age. And then also you talked about Brahma, which would be that absolute truth. You could say that absolute, that pure consciousness. And then Kali would be that destructive force or the, that archetype of that. So I just wanted to, because it'll help them understand and re-listen. I'm sure people are going to re-listen to this again and again and really get the activation of that in their being.
Yes.
In their hearts themselves.